Cool. All right. Welcome everyone to another episode of Beyond Your Beliefs, where we help bring awareness to your current beliefs and get you beyond them to experience a reality you truly deserve. Today with me, as always, Matthew. Thank you for being here today, brother. We appreciate your time and energy.
Yes, sir. What's going on, everybody? Imagine
Bro,
doing well.
you excited for today's topic?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today's topic is actually feeding off from last week. So last week, if you weren't with us, we were talking all about self-reflection, episode 12. Go ahead and check it out. It's already uploaded every Sunday. Guys, go check it out. I promise you guys it will lead on to this episode. Now, this episode today is all about self-awareness. See, the path to self-awareness begins with reflection. Essentially, the power from self-awareness derives from the assumptions you make of yourself. And you come across these assumptions in self-reflecting moments, right? Or if you're not doing these self-reflecting exercises, you're reflecting upon yourself regardless whether you know it or not. But being aware of these moments will guide you in a more constructive, reflective manner. And so what our goal is to get you to do these self-reflection practices in a more constructive manner to bring you more self-awareness. Now, a lot of us reflect, but not all reflections lead to self-awareness, right? And so that's what we want to work on here is get you to make a constructive self-reflection exercise and bring more self-awareness to yourself, to your being, because the path to self-awareness again begins with self-reflection. And self-awareness is the ability to know who and what we are. And I promise you, it all starts there. You focus on this part of your life, and this is what leads to what we were talking about last week, right? The higher self. Like this is being able to step away from a situation, a moment, right? Step away from yourself, look at yourself from a distance, from a slight distance, okay? And without judgment, being able to recognize your skills, your abilities, your weaknesses, your strengths, right? And these things will guide you to your self-awareness, and utilizing your self-awareness, these things can increase the quality of your life by so much, and you have no idea how much power you have within you, and it all comes from self-awareness. And I know Matthew has experienced a lot of this, so I'm gonna let him dive a little bit more into this self-awareness journey that he's gotten into himself throughout the years of experience that he's had in this journey.
Yeah, I truly believe that reflection is definitely the place like where it starts because you get to that place where you obviously really want something, or it's like you understand where you are and where it is you want to be. I feel like that's really a huge start in the self-awareness journey, is being able to understand where you are and where it is that you want to be, and being able to help yourself understand how to get to where you want to go.
Mm.
It's understanding how we got to where we are. So being able to do that self-reflection and see like the things that we've done, consistently that have allowed us to get to where we are. It's like, okay, that's why being able to back test the decisions, the relationships,
Mm.
certain things that have got us here, certain belief systems, certain ways of thinking, just certain ways of doing certain things, habits, like being able to self-reflect on that really allows us to see how we got to where we are. So
Mm.
it really does start with that, because you really want to understand where you are and where it is you want to go. And before we could really move on to where it is we want to go, I truly believe we must understand like how it is we got to where we are. So yeah, I 100% agree with that, bro. Like
I
for
like the
sure.
way that you used the word backtest as reflection. Yeah, that's awesome because again, a lot of you may not know this, but Matthew and myself are day traders and we're entrepreneurs and we're business owners and we one of our favorite skill sets, and I'm sure I can speak for us both when we say this, like our favorite pastime is trading, right? And looking at charts, looking at price action, and when you are in the practice of doing your reflection on your craft on trading, it's called back testing. And so the way that he used that really hit home, because that's how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And so the more time you can actually spend reflecting upon your actions and experiences, the more it brings you to the present moment. Because that's how, what he was just saying is like, that's how you understand to how you got to where you are today, is by reflecting on your previous experiences, right? To bring you awareness to the now. Because the reality is most people are stressed out. Most people feel this anxiety because they do not know themselves well enough. You see, like they either live in the past, right? They live back here, or they live in the future, in somewhere where it has yet to happen. See, a lot of people are anxious for the future and stressing about the past, their past experiences. And the reality is, right, is the past, the past is just an experience. It's already happened. It's done. Right? It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's just not here. The future has yet to even come. And so the moment you realize that here, now, is exactly where you are and need to be, and that's exactly the only place that you want and desire to be, you realize this is the place where you are, where you belong. And you see, when you accept the present, when you accept the now, right, when you understand where you came from and how you got to where you're at and where it is that you want to go, or are headed, you realize that to get you to where you're headed, there's no need to stress about the future as long as you focus on the now. And it brings such a sense of peace. Like it's such a peaceful emotion to realize like this is where you belong. You don't belong anywhere else but here in the now, right?
I love how you really brought up the higher self, because the way I see it also is, your higher self is like you being able to see things from a third person point of view, right? It's like not getting too emotionally involved with what happened in the past, but
Mm.
being able to observe it, right? Being able to be an observer of certain situations, circumstances, and like things that took place, to be able to learn from it. Because if we're, I truly believe, from experience as well, it's like if we're so caught up in emotions of the past, that's then it's the time is always now. So those emotions will only be in the present, which means
Mm.
we'll continue to create the same experiences over and over again if we are continuously tapped into those emotions that we're not willing to let go of. So really being able to see things from a third person point of view of how we got here, and obviously how we're going to get to where it is that we're going. You could really see things from like really a non-biased emotional perspective, but really see
Mm.
what is the path, what decisions are most make the most sense to get to where it is that we want to go, so yeah,
I
because
like that.
emotions are powerful, but really having super biased emotions based off of past experiences, I believe it limits us in our ability to see clearly of certain possibilities that can happen in the future, because we're so attached to things that happened in the past. So seeing things from your higher self as a third person point of view, I feel like it just provides more clarity, more logic in that.
And a lot of people and religions actually speak of this a lot. And I went through a couple of religions growing up, actually, through my father and mother. They both have separate religions, actually. And so I got put through three religions. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but my understanding from it was that these religions wanted us to see a Jesus or higher being within ourselves. and to be able to look at ourselves without, like Matthew just said, and I love that what he just said is without a bias, without judgment, right? And so being able to look at your situation, for example, most people when they are in a stressful situation, they look at themselves and they look at, they blame themselves instead of just assessing the situation itself. Or what do most people do when it's a problem that is against with someone else? What they do is they direct the individual directly instead of assessing the moment. And so what this practices all bring, and I noticed that this really links up to it, it's like, I'm not saying that, this religion's right, this religion's incorrect or anything like that. Everybody's right in their own way. But I love the fact that they've always tried to cultivate the higher self in a way within you. They may not have used those words, but they definitely implicated some higher being within, right? Some higher being within to be a third person perspective, right? Looking at yourself from a distance, looking at your situation, your skill sets, your what you like and don't like, but from a distance, and being able to accept what you see and accept what is now, right? And so that is a beautiful way to look at it, bro. Thank you for sharing that. And honestly, the act towards great self-awareness is a constructive approach. It is to examine yourself through your four aspects, okay? The physical, right? Because you want to be healthy, emotional, mental, and spiritual self. So starting with number one, health, physical self. Being able to be aware of your physical health and state of being. Right? This is why it's so important. And it goes in this order to me because health is number one. Always, always, always. Like health is always going to be number one. Always prioritize yourself so that way you can care for others. You cannot give, even if you're someone that loves to take care of other people, it doesn't matter if you're the best person, the nicest person in the world with the best of intentions. The 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 road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? It is a quote that I truly live by because no matter how good your intentions are, if you do not take care of yourself first, you cannot take care of another. It's just like a father and a mother towards their children. If they do not care for themselves first, how long can they last taking care of another being, right? And how well can they do that? The quality of care comes from the self. So first, physical self and health, right? Then your emotional self. The emotional self is important. You have to be aware of who you are emotionally. I can honestly tell you guys, like I am an emotional individual, and this derives from being the awareness of being sensitive. And I want you guys to understand this. Like a lot of people frown upon this word. Okay, choose your words correctly. A lot of people frown upon this word, sensitive. Okay, look it up. Look at the definition of sensitive. It is the ability to sense presence, moments, and emotions. Right? It is your ability to sense yourself and emotions and to know yourself. Right? So I don't frown upon emotional individuals or sensitive individuals, nor do I call somebody a sensitive individual with poor intentions. I truly think that's a great thing to be. If you're a sensitive individual, good. That's what makes you human. You are somebody that's able to sense things. Now, if you respond with those emotions, if you respond and react with those emotions in an emotional, from a poor state of mind, then that's where we really start diving into where sensitivity and being emotional can be a negative aspect, right? So it can go both ways. It just depends on your perspective. And this truly leads to number 3, mental, right? The mental self is being aware that your mental state of being, right? What is your mental state of being? What is your mindset, right? Success is a state of mind, right? What is your state of mind? And last but definitely not least, the spiritual self. And we spoke a little bit about this earlier today on the live stream with the team. We were talking about how the ego, right, wants you to be the best in the world, and the spirit wants you to be the best for the world. And so there's two aspects that you can look at. There's two individuals here, the one that wants to be the best and the one that is the best for the world, and then realizes that, you know, us as beings, being aware that we are this life, right? We are a part of this universe, life, and experience. We not just a part of it, but we are it, right? We are the universe. We are this life. It's not my life. It's not Matthew's life. It's life in general. This is the whole. We are the whole, right? We are not just a part of it. We are it. And so I just wanted to really dive into that, so that way you guys are aware of your four aspects of aspects of self-awareness, and how to bring self-reflection upon these four things to make it a more constructive exercise. So I want you guys to do this with us. Me, Matthew, will do this as well, and I have a whiteboard, so get it. If you don't have a whiteboard, cool, like write it on a piece of paper, but you're going to need a piece of paper for 30 days, okay? And write the words "I am" with a blank, okay? And every day when you wake up, you decide, you choose who that I am is, okay? Because my belief is what you think about yourself shapes your life, okay? So follow with me here. Your reality, or not just your reality, because we are a whole, so reality itself, okay, is one. And reality is your consciousness. Again, follow with me here. Your reality, or reality that we all exist in, is your consciousness. It is your beliefs. It is the beliefs that you think about repetitively all the time. So the more aware you are about yourself, the better your life will be. The more aware you are, the better assumptions you make of yourself, the better your life will be, because this reality is shaped by consciousness. Okay, so this exercise, what it does is I am. Let's say I am healthy. Okay, just by this affirmation alone. Because how many individuals say, like, how many times do you guys hear this term? It's like, oh man, I'm so stupid. Like, how many people really talk down on themselves all the time? And Matthew taught me this, and it's like, your subconsciousness knows no different between what you feed it. So if you say things negatively about yourself, about your skill set, about anything that you do, your consciousness, your mind will literally accept anything you feed it. It knows not to deny what is true or what is false. It will accept everything you feed it, jokingly or not. This is why we choose our words carefully, right? We are aware of the things that we say, right? This all comes with self-awareness. So what you fill in the blank with, you will try to find opportunities. Your mind will shape that reality. It won't happen like magic. It won't happen overnight. But little by little, your mind throughout this 30-day exercise will start shaping your reality to the healthy identities that you feed yourself, right? So whatever it is that you guys feel on that I am, drop it in the comments, okay? Drop it in the comments down below with us. Share with us, what is the identity you want to put on today? What is that I am? I am healthy. I am better. I am improving, right? And so all these identities right, will improve your quality of life, or they will limit your quality of life. Regardless what it is, I am is going to be your choice. And this is where we dive into affirmations and you having the ability to choose. And I don't know if you want to dive into that, Matthew. It's like the importance of having
Mm.
this power that we are all born with. And it's our great ability to choose, to decide what it is that we put in that blank.
100%. It's something we're all born with, right? It's that connection to source, and all of us really are connected to this source, and we have the ability to choose. And just imagine you have the everything that ever was, ever will be, and it's always there, and it's just infinite, and you have the ability to tap into it and choose exactly what it is you want to literally tap into, really become, be, resonate with, right? Because it really comes down to, just like Bash said, right? Your self awareness, that's your true core beliefs about yourself, because, everything else you experience is a reflection of yourself, right? Because you're going to be perceiving things through your own self beliefs. And, they say, like, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. The way things start to change when we look at them is when we change. Because most of the time, just like Batch said, people will say things like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and they're not things that are serving them. If we're on this journey of self awareness and we're focused and we're aware of where we are, and we're focused on where we're going, that's really all we need to know. Again, it's where we are and where we're going. So it's like, okay, where we're going, how is this version of ourselves? What do they believe about themselves? What do they think about themselves? And it really is just continuously tapping into those beliefs and those thoughts and that level of self-awareness, that really allows you to feel good, right? Like they say, I am not who you think I am what you think I am, right?
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
that's how it goes, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, in reality, like, it's your own self-perception is like of yourself is like what you're emitting, and that's your awareness of yourself, and the universe is just gonna respond to you in that way, however it is that you move. So feeling good really allows that connection to source, so when you have positive self-empowering beliefs, that self-awareness, like, that's who you decide to be, that's who you are. And truly feeling bad is really not allowing that connection, right? Feeling bad equals a resistance of where you say it is you want to go, because even
yeah.
though you say, this is where I am, this is where I want to go, it's like there's a resistance keeping you where you are, because, you're not allowing those new beliefs to come in, with your connection to the source. Because it's like if you have the ability to let go of something to choose something else out of this source, then, like, you would do so, right? But again, it goes into attachment, and that's something that we're obviously going to get into, later on, not on this specific episode. um, and really, it's, yeah, for what I believe, when it comes to this journey of self awareness, it's a continuous thing. We're continuously in this exploration phase, I guess you could say. I truly believe allowing new experiences to come into your life, just it just expands the horizon of, your preferences. And there's a book called Asking Is Given, and I'd highly recommend it. And it really talks about that, right? It's, your true knowledge, it comes from your own personal experience, right? Because you yourself are experiencing yourself, you're experiencing so many different things. So this is why we encourage people, you know to just go out and experience new things, right? Get out of your comfort zone, because you'll learn more about yourself through experiencing certain things. And this is where you could build your preferences. And this is such a huge thing when it comes to self-awareness, is, again, knowing yourself, right? Knowing thyself. And you really build those preferences through new experiences. So unless we, allow ourselves to go into this continuous phase of exploration and allow new experiences into our lives, then we'll just, be used to things of the past. And new experiences allow us to have more preferences. Like, okay, I do resonate with this. Okay, I don't resonate with this. Like, I prefer this over that. And that is what I truly believe self-awareness is understanding your preferences and continuously moving into that direction of the things that truly resonate with yourself. Because what you like may not be what someone else likes, but that's okay
Mm.
because you are not them and they are not you. So on this continuous phase of this journey that we're on, I just continuously encourage, not only myself, but all of you is, go out there and experience new things. You
Yeah.
never know, like you may like do something that you just really, really like. And you're just like, wow, like, I never would have thought that that really resonated with me. I really enjoyed doing that. So, new experiences allow you to, create, build your preference list. And then, yeah, the things you resonate with, the things that allow you to feel good, the things you enjoy doing, the things that empower you and, just continuously reaffirm the beliefs about yourself that you are exactly where you need to be and you're doing those things that allow you to feel good. You'll know when something's not for you when you don't feel good. If
Yeah.
you're doing something and you feel bad, that's just your answer right there, right? Because that's your intuition talking to you. They say your intuition is your translation of energy, right? Your translation of everything that's going on. So you have to really trust that as you're experiencing new things, build your preference, and yeah, just do things that allow you to feel good. Throw everything else away because it's
I
probably
like
not for you.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot. And I want to kind of bring it back to what you said there. It's the you just have to start with where you're at, realizing where you're at and where it is that you're going. Cuz okay, and it's coming to with an understanding as we were all born with a mind, right? As a whole, right? As a part of the whole, we're all born with a mind, and we all have the same mind, though the contents of your mind are different. And so now just picture, I don't have a cup, but picture a cup, okay? And this is your mind. This cup,
I
okay?
have a cup.
You have a cup. There you go.
Can't
Look,
really see it.
you do it. It's perfect. So picture your mind as that cup. Okay, your mind is that cup, and so what Matthew pours into that cup is going to be different from what you pour into that cup, and that's what separates us and makes us so unique. It's like we pour different things into our cups, and this is what puts us to where we're at now. And so the first step is your desire. The first step is acknowledging your desire to change. Your desire, if you don't like something about where you're at now, it's understanding you have the decision, the choice. You're not a tree. You don't have to be rooted to where you're at now. You don't have roots to the ground where it attaches you to the current moment, into your current self. You have the ability, the power to change and decide where it is that you want to go. And this all comes with the desire to change. Right? So this is where it all starts, like Matthew was mentioning, your desire to see where you want to go. And the only way to get to where you want to go is by change. Your desire to change has to be bigger than your comfort of staying. Right? And so with that, guys, I want you guys to another exercise is I want you guys to monitor for the next 7 days. Monitor what you do with your time. Monitor. And I promise you, bringing you this is a huge self-awareness practice. Practice monitoring your time. How much time you spend doing what. And I've done this for 3 days, and I can honestly tell you, like, the first day I was spending about 3 hours in social media or doing things with little to no value, meaning that I was spending major time doing very minor things, right? Things that did not serve my purpose, things that have not little to nothing to do with my business. And so a lot of people think that they work and work and work and working, but if there's no value behind all this time that you're devoting into working and doing all these things, it will bring you to a sense of displacement. This is where people get displaced and start thinking about the future, start thinking about the past, about what they could have done, what they would be able to do, what they can do and cannot do anymore. And this is where the stress gets built up. So do not lose yourself with your day. Become a master of your own day by just being aware of how much time. This is a very simple exercise. How much time do you spend doing what? Throughout the 7 days. If that doesn't improve throughout the 7 days, your desire to change is not big enough. And that's the reality of it. And so, yeah, I honestly, that's all I wanted to say. I don't know if you have something else to say and add on to that, brother.
Um, no, that was powerful, bro. I think that's a really good exercise. You know, me myself, you know, just being able to, you know, I feel like just like with anything, right, when it comes to maybe awareness or like just success or anything in general, you know, many people perceive things to be like, oh, you just get there and it just stays there. But I truly believe, you know, life is always in motion. So like nothing ever just stays in one place. So constantly keeping that self-awareness, more of it just, it's like it never stops, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, it's like for someone to say they're self-aware like 100% of the time always, is like, you know, it takes a level of, you know, honesty and discipline to really just be like, okay, I'm actually observing everything I'm doing, because we call that drifting, right? Whenever you do things unconsciously, whenever you do things unconsciously without even realizing it. And that's the hypnotic rhythm, right? Of just habits. So like everybody's in hypnotic rhythm of certain habits. And, you know, until you bring awareness to like, okay, what am I actually doing? Asking yourself like, okay,
Wow.
what am I actually doing? How much time am I actually spending doing this stuff? That's where like you bring awareness to it and you have the ability to, exactly what you said, change. You know,
Bro, thank you
that's
so much for bringing that up. Like, wow.
yeah, outwitting the devil, outwitting the
Yes,
devil,
bro.
Napoleon Hill.
Wow. So
Um,
powerful.
yeah, that's a very powerful book. If anybody hasn't listened to it, I highly recommend Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Yeah, because like most people are just doing things without even realizing it. And it's like when you really bring awareness to that hypnotic rhythm, which are your unconscious habits, that's where true power, like you take back that power and realize I'm in the driver's seat. I'm in control. Time is flying, right? That's the thing. Good news is we're the pilots. You know, you are the pilot. So you have the ability to take yourself wherever you want to be, you know? So that's something one of my mentors, you know, always told me. And um, it just really helps you realize that time is flying and, you know, what are we doing with it? You know, so
I like that.
yeah.
So,
So,
guys, do your exercise for the next 7 days. Become aware of your drifting habits and become aware of how much major time you spend doing minor things and how much minor time we do and improving that time actually to become doing major things for a major amount of time, right? And that will bring the best purpose into your life.
right.
So,
I wanted to say something before we wrap it up.
yeah.
Also, when it comes to, you know, we're talking about building preferences and stuff, like you really be able to feel, you know, and, you know, understand the more you do something, if it's really in alignment to where it is you want to go. You know, like you really have to be able to foresee if the things you're doing right now are truly going to get you where it is that you want to be. And the best example to see that is to literally find people who are where you want to be in whatever position and situation, and just double check, see if the things that you're doing, if those are, you know, good steps, consistent habits to do that will allow you to get those same type of results, whatever it is, or whatever purpose, you know, you feel, you know, the better you feel doing it, because you know it's in alignment with, you know, the path that you're on to get you where you want to go. That's just, you know, you want to stay there, because that's how you know you're doing the right things. You know, you just got to keep doing those things. You know, eventually you'll be like, wow, I'm glad I started doing those things. So
Yes, sir. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. And guys, if there's anything that really gave you a aha moment or that you really liked about this video, please would love if you guys shared it down below, would comment, like, and share this video with anybody who may benefit from this. If this is something that has given you a breakthrough, please do not hesitate to, one, reach out to any of us if you have any questions of the information here, and two, share this with somebody, with one person that you care about. One person. Help us make wisdom go viral and self-awareness become something that everybody can do, because anyone can do it. It's not something that is a privilege to the rich or a privilege to people that read. Anyone can reflect. Anyone can become aware of who and what they are. So with that, guys, we appreciate you guys. And yeah, brother, I don't know if you want to close it off.
Yep. As always, we're super grateful for this opportunity. We really appreciate everybody, always taking the time to share this time and space with us. And again, as always, we really just want to continue to remind everybody that, you can literally be, do, and have whatever it is that you want, right? Remember, you do not need to have something in order to do something so that you can finally be something. All you got to do is just be that person who does the things that person does, and you will continue to experience everything that person has. So yeah, as always, we're sending y'all waves of peace, love, abundance, and creativity. And yeah, you guys have a good one.